You're dealing with an addicted generation.
This is a big time bomb ticking.
This is no accident. Indeed, it is by design.
I mean, seriously?
It was my mistake.
I mean, I think we can all feel it.
To try to make these products as addictive as
400%
possible.
spike in dopamine.
Hello everyone, I'm Elijah and I'm here to talk about social media and the potential harm that it can or might cause you in the future. Social media has become part of our daily life. It's where we look for information and share information to our friends or colleagues. It becomes part of us. It's the place where we look for entertainment or we spend most of our free time. Social media has done so many great things. It allows us to connect people that are so far away from each other. It connects families, reunites family. So many helpful things happen around the world because of social media.
When you try to look around in our society now, it feels very chaotic and crazy, like people are somewhat underestimated. Social media addiction is now a behavioral addiction that is characterized as being overly concerned about social media, driven by an uncontrollable urge to log onto or use social media, and devoting so much time and effort to social media that it impairs other important life areas. It doesn't mean that if you use social media, you'll get addicted, but there's the risk of being addicted. Filipinos reportedly spend an average of 102,054 hours of their life on social media. That's about 4,252 days or 11.64 years of your life glued to a screen. The Philippines topped the Global Web Index as the country that spends the most hours per day on social media. According to that report, Filipinos spend an average of almost 4 hours per day on social media, versus Japan's 45 minutes per day. There's a big difference. So what is the cause of social media addiction?
Dopamine is a type of neurotransmitter that's playing a role in how we feel pleasure. It's a motivator that's playing a role in addiction. The reward center in your brain releases dopamine in responses to pleasurable experiences. It helps reinforce enjoyable sensation and behaviors by linking things that make you feel good with a desire to do them again. The link is an important factor in development of addiction. Robert Sapolsky made research about it and he called it the magic of maybe. When you look at your phone, maybe there's a text or maybe there's not and you don't know. So in social media, it's rewarding you dopamine every time you get likes or someone commented on your post or maybe someone tags you on their post. That leads to addictive behavior because you constantly looking for notification, you're looking for a maybe. Dopamine inducing social environments that social network sites provide. Social media platforms such as Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram produce the same neural circuitry that is caused by gambling and recreational drugs to keep consumers using retweets, likes, and share from these sites have affected the brain's reward area to trigger the same kind of chemical reaction as other drugs. Here scientists have compared social media interaction to a syringe of dopamine being injected straight into the system. These social media platforms are competing for attention because the more attention it gets, the more advertisement it can provide the users. So the more advertisement means the more money they can make. Social media is addictive, both physically and psychologically. According to a new study by Harvard University, self-disclosure on social networking sites lights up the same part of the brain and its chemical messenger pathways affect decision and sensation. When someone experiences something rewarding or uses an addictive substance, neurons in the principal dopamine producing areas in the brain are activated, causing dopamine levels to rise. Therefore, the brain receives a reward and associates the drug or activity with positive reinforcement. When we're constantly scrolling, seeing photo after photo, videos after videos, infinitely scrolling through pages, it does lower our attention span by keeping distracted all the time. You may use social media compulsively and excessively. You can become so accustomed to scrolling through posts, images, and videos that it interferes with other areas of your life. The problem with social media is that they interfere with medium to longer goals. There is a research that tells us that if you spend your day in a state of fragmented attention, so large portion of your day, you are constantly breaking up your attention to take a quick glance to check them. Just quickly look at Instagram or any other platforms you are using. That can permanently reduce your capacity for concentration. The younger generation is not aware of this kind of thing, so I'm deeply worried about how our future might look like.
Human beings are social creatures. We need the companionship of others to thrive in life, and the strength of our connections has a huge impact on our mental health and happiness. Lacking strong social connections can impose serious risks to your mental and emotional health. We humans care about what people think of us. For example, when you upload a new photo of yourself, there is a moment when our mind is vulnerable to knowing what other people think of our new profile photo. And so when we get notifications about new comments or likes, we worry regarding the feedback of others. That is the time we become vulnerable because we care about others' thinking. We are wiring our brain to the social media depression, wherein people look at their feeds, then they compare their lives to other people's lives and highlights. Thus, it causes lesser life satisfaction, sadness, and depression of different kinds.
We curate our lives around this perceived sense of perfection because we get rewarded in these short-term signals, hearts, likes, thumbs up, and we complete with value, and we completed with the truth. What it is fake popularity, that short-term, and that leaves you even more and empty, and it forces you in this cycle where you are, like, what's the next thing I need to do now, because I need it back. Think about the compounded by 80% of social media users. Then, think about how people react then to the perception of others. It's just so bad. There is a research that the more you use social media, the more likely you are feel lonely or isolated because the constant exposure to your friends, carefully curated positive portrayals of their life and leaves you to feel inadequate and increased rate of depression. While the term Snapchat dysmorphia might be too early to be brought into play, the risk of these patients turning to Snapchat and Instagram filters as a source of inspiration for their desired plastic surgery is a big issue. Because platforms Snapchat and Instagram provided filters that let us users smooth out their skin tone and change the shape of their pictures. This phenomenon has become known as Snapchat dysmorphia. Dysmorphia refers to an obsession with perceived flaws in one's face or body.
It was my mistake.
Mr. Zuckerberg, would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
No.